Welcome back to the third Saturday in October, your SEC water cooler podcast for the rest of us. Find us online at thirdsaturdayinoctober.com, on social media and Venmo at TSIO Pod if you want to support the show, or you can go to buymeacoffee.com/TSIO Pod to donate to the cause as well. I am Bradley, coming to you previewing regionals, where the SEC is hosting 8 out of the 16 regional sites. How this works, the top 16 teams host regionals. And then once regionals are done, the top 8 seeded teams host super regionals. After super regionals, everybody moves to Omaha for the College World Series. So here's how it works. Regionals. Each region has 4 teams, and they just kind of play a bracket until there's only one team, until 3 of the teams have 2 losses. So, for instance, we'll take Tennessee's bracket. It's Tennessee, Miami of Ohio, Wake Forest, Cincinnati. I believe Tennessee's playing Miami first. So Tennessee, Miami play. One of those teams loses. One team wins. So we got 1-0, 0-1. Then Wake Forest and Cincinnati play. One will be 1-0. One will be 0-1. The 0-1 teams play. Whoever loses is out. Then the two 1-0 teams play. One team will be 2-0. One team will be 1-1. So now the two 1-1 teams play. And one of them is going to be out. So now you've got a 2-1 and a 2-0. And they will play until somebody has 2 losses. And so somebody will be either 3-0 or 3-1 and move on. So that's how regionals work. Excuse me, regionals work. And then you go to super regionals, and there, so you've gone from 64 teams, now you're down to 16. That gives you 8 super regionals. Each one of those super regionals is a series, best of 3. So, each series will give you 1 winner. So that's going to take 16 down to 8. The 8 then go to College World Series, and it kind of the format starts over again. So it's a bracket. 2 losses, you're out. So you whittle it down to 2 teams. Those 2 teams then play a 3-game series to determine who is the College World Series national champ. Like I said, 8 of the 16 regionals hosted by an SEC team. So we've got Vanderbilt, Texas, Ole Miss, Georgia, LSU, Tennessee, Auburn, Arkansas. I believe I got all those right. Vanderbilt had a very impressive second half to the season and SEC tournament. Tennessee started off strong. Marcus Phillips came out just pitching lights out. Tennessee was playing with a chip on their shoulder. And then, much like they did in Columbus in football, they ran into a buzzsaw in Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt run ruled Tennessee in the SEC tournament. Vanderbilt then went on to beat Ole Miss. I believe it's 3-2. Um, Props to Vanderbilt. Props to Tim Corbin. I've told people, especially Vanderbilt fans at my office, I never count out a Tim Corbin coached team. Um, they they're starting to come together at the right time. Um, their performance in the tournament catapulted them into the number one overall seed. So they get the uh they will get the um I guess it's kind of the easiest path. They get the most beneficial path to the College World Series. Um, by the way, props to Vanderbilt. Their military appreciation uniforms that they wore in their championship game against Ole Miss, those are some of the best uniforms. The military green with the American flag in the Vanderbilt V. Those are some of my favorite uniforms, um, baseball uniforms that just I've seen. Um, so Vanderbilt gets to host a regional. Should Vanderbilt win, they also host a super regional. So a lot of baseball to be played in Nashville. Uh, their region is made up of Vanderbilt, Wright State, Louisville, and ETSU. Uh, Louisville and Vanderbilt do not like each other. Just something to keep in mind. Let's hit the other SEC or the other. Uh, by the way, 13 out of the 16 SEC teams made it. The ones who didn't were Missouri, South Carolina, and Texas A&M. Those are the only three SEC teams that did not make um, the the College World Series bracket. Texas is hosting um, UTSA, and who is Houston Christian in Kansas State. So Texas, Houston Christian, Kansas State, uh, QT San Antonio. Um, I gotta click out of this, and it's not gonna let me. Great. Um, who else do we have? We've got Alabama playing in Hattiesburg, Southern Miss, Columbia, University of Miami. We got Ole Miss hosting Murray State, Georgia Tech, Western Kentucky. We got Mississippi State, who's playing in Tallahassee, Florida State, um, B Cook, I don't know, Northwestern. Baseball and basketball, you get all these schools that you don't know how to pronounce their names. Um, Georgia is hosting uh, Binghamton, Duke, Oklahoma State. LSU is hosting Little Rock, DBU, not sure who that is, Rhode Island. Oklahoma is playing in Chapel Hill. UNC's hosting Holy Cross, Nebraska. Um, Kentucky is playing in Clemson's regional, Clemson, USC Upstate, West Virginia. Florida is playing in Conway, where Coastal Carolina is hosting Fairfield, East Carolina. Tennessee, as I said, is hosting Miami of Ohio, Wake Forest, Cincinnati. Arkansas is hosting North Dakota State, Kansas, Creighton. North Dakota State, that's got to be some cold baseball early in the season. And Auburn is hosting, uh, is that Central Connecticut, NC State, and Stetson. Uh, that's most of the brackets right there. I I do kind of like the way Tennessee's is set up. Wake Forest is the one that worries me. Um, that I don't know. I, Tennessee needs to. come out like they did in the first two games against uh why am I blanking on who they played in the first game of the SEC tournament? But then they played Texas and beating Texas, I believe it was 11 innings. Beating Texas is what catapulted Tennessee into a position where they got to host a regional. Tennessee's the 14 seed. So just kind of by the skin of their teeth. Um, Again, top 16 teams host. So um, if they win their region, they will then travel to um, uh, likely um, Auburn or less. I think six of the top seven. So if I remember correctly, because I don't have it pulled up because now everything's frozen. Um, but ooh, here we go. Um, Number one Vanderbilt, number two Texas, um, number three Arkansas, number four Auburn, who's number six LSU, number seven Georgia. Six of the top seven spots. Um, and again, like I said, half of the regionals are hosted by SEC teams. Um, what does Tennessee have to do? Tennessee has to play with a chip on their shoulder um, here on out. They have not played that way most of the season. A lot of turnover from last year's championship team, um, and it also something that happened in the game against Vanderbilt. Um, that Vanderbilt scored a few runs. Tennessee kind of that they just look down. They don't look confident. Um, Marcus that first game just came out looking really confident. Uh, Something that is a struggle that I mentioned before. Teams can run on Tennessee. They can steal second, and Vanderbilt is very aggressive. And that you get a base hit, you get a walk, you steal second. Now you've got a guy in scoring position really quickly. Another base hit and they score a run. Whereas if you can hold that guy on first, base hit, moves into second, maybe third. So they've got to string together two hits to score rather than just one. Um, that allows teams to earn runs quickly when you can't hold them on. Um, it's been very frustrating to watch teams run on Tennessee. Um, so I feel good about making it to super regionals. Um, I guess the way the bracket looks um, might be heading to Fayetteville, which I mean I don't know that I want to play many of the SEC teams, but um, ended the season on a series loss to Arkansas. Um, we'll have to see, but this all gets started Friday. Um, we'll get to see where regionals go. Well, I expect to have a lot of SEC teams in super regionals, so we'll see. Um, Hang on tight. There's still a lot of college baseball left, and it's going to be played over just a few weekends. So hang on tight. Uh, I love it. I'm here for it. I know Jared's going to be watching as well. Hopefully, we'll have him back next week. Until then, find us online, third Saturday in October.com at TSIO Pod for social media and Venmo if you want to send us a couple bucks. Um, or buymeacoffee.com/TSIO Pod. Also, if you enjoy the show, make sure you subscribe and tell somebody who loves college sports, especially college baseball right now. We'll be talking for a few more weeks on college baseball. Thank you for being a part of the show. And as we like to say, heroes come in all sizes and roll balls.
Tailgate, man cave, living room, pregame, burgers, ribs, chicken wings, chip and dip, pregame, scotch and a lot of IPA, Coca-Cola.